Den dag jeg aldri at jeg det glemmer. Foran meg søver jeg om deg drømmer. Om natt og dag du like nær. Men best jeg ser deg når mørkt er. Men best jeg ser deg når mørkt er.
Так, здравствуйте. Как всегда, давно не стримил, решил поиграть в новую игру.
The water's cold.
It's a fjord. You're not going swimming.
Boo. You're such a wet blanket, teddy bear.
You know I don't like it when you call me...
Edward Charles Hardin, Esquire.
Will you promise to behave on land?
Don't I always?
Lissy, promise.
Well, piffle and fullness balonus, Teddy. You ought to know better than to ask.
Так, что там
Yes,
чат
I'll behave.
хуёво вылез. Пойдет.
The proper young lady. I shan't run or climb things or laugh too loud or call anyone old blue. Aside from you.
Что-то я так посмотрел, вроде игра похожа на Bioshock последний. Вот, надо будет побегать, попробовать пройти. Пока выходные. Так, что у нас тут надо? Потише бы сделать.
Put horns on her hat, drinks mead out of a chalice, eats goat meat off the bone, that sort of thing. Teddy, how do you know Betty's still here?
I just do. In her letter, she wrote about...
But that's months ago. She could have gone anywhere.
Without writing or telegraphing her editor in New York, she wouldn't do that. Betty's...
The cat's pajamas, the bee's knees, little Miss...
Alice, you're talking about my sister.
Fine. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Sidarb. We all love her dearly. And Teddy Bear.
Так, вроде все работает. Поехали.
Edward, we will find her. Betty's fine. Why, we'll see her as soon as we get to shore. She'll shower you with kisses and
Даже тут есть Элизабет.
from Hanover, Massachusetts to the middle of absolutely nowhere Scandinavia way, just to chase her down. Everything will be Jake, old fruit. Is that it? Is that Groovewalk? It looks so peaceful and beautiful And so desolate. Like a place built for ghosts.
Finally. I don't think I could do this for much longer.
Can't you row any faster? I'm getting frightfully bored.
How
Блин,
about
там
you take over, Alice?
был какой-то выбор, и что-то я не
You slay me,
успел.
Teddy, old bean. Was that thunder?
Still distant. The boat will be in safe harbor by the time the weather arrives.
So you say. But I say put your back into it. Because we're sitting ducks out here. Quack, quack.
Кря-кря.
It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
Probably working. I know it's a foreign concept to you, but that's something normal people do.
Hardy har har.
The Fretland farm is up the hill somewhere.
Up where?
На холме. Так,
Where's the farm?
I believe it's
Вон
that
туда пошли.
farmhouse, all the way at the top.
Hot dog! Let's ankle!
Hold on. Let me read the letter from Mrs. Fretland first.
I'll meet
and-
you up there, old sport. I want to explore. Last one's a skunk's tail. Ready?
Wait. The ground's muddy. It's easy to slip and fall. Walk slowly and watch out
Don't
for...
be a wet blanket. A little mud never hurt anyone.
Fine. Just stay close.
As long as you keep up with me.
ладно, все, пошли. Ну, сука.
Dear Mr. Harden, we would like to extend an invitation to visit our home. Trouble to hear of your sister's disappearance. No news to share. You'll find our farm on top of the hill. I hope I got that right. Look forward to seeing you here in October. Yours faithfully, Anna Fretland. Well, I'm here. Where are you? Did you make it to Grovik, Betty? And why did you pick this forlorn hole under the mountains? Also sprach Zarathustra.
Teddy, are you coming?
Такой большой список и прочитал на пару секунд.
On my way. Righto. Step to it, teddy bear. Where are you?
I'm waiting for you at the farm.
Ладно. А чё он так долго идет? Чё, сюда не попасть? Ха. На правую кнопку ходит. Фред и Саймон. Рыболову, видимо. Че ты, мелкий, работаешь? Все, я устал.
Are you coming?
Just taking a break.
Hurry up. Storm's getting closer.
Ладно. Бля, почему он так долго идет? Бег. Чё там? Left shift. Ну и чё? За окном тоже туман.
Teddy, this way.
Так, а что у нас там по настройкам? Так, далеко прорисовывать не будем, наверное. Так, поставим-ка мы лучше средний проверим. Да, конечно, выглядит теперь уёбищно. Ну-ка, так. Ладно, пойдет. Бля, что ж так долго идешь?
Lucy,
What is it? What took you so long?
Ну
I'm
так,
not 17.
Nor are you 70. Put some spring into your step, old sport.
Did you see the flag? It's at half-mast. Someone died.
So this is it, huh? Nice digs. But seriously, where is everyone?
так, тишина кажется им
This is
странной.
starting to creep me out. They must be somewhere. They can't all have vanished. What's that Arthur Conan Doyle story?
They might be out fishing.
Well, we didn't see any
Короче,
boats.
рыбачить-то ничего не
If they are
знаю.
out in the fjord, they'll have to come in soon. The rain's picking up.
You first, old bee.
Hello? Anyone there? Mr. Fretland? Mrs. Fretland? This is Edward Charles Harden, the American. We've exchanged letters.
Maybe they went on holiday and left the door open. Give it a shake and a rattle.
I can't just barge into their home.
It's not a crime if you're invited.
I'm coming in. This is Mr. Harden. Hello? Is anyone home?
This house is as empty
Что меня
as
эта
a
баба,
bird's
блядь,
nest in
пугает
December.
наоборот.
Hey, you want to check out the... Ah, this is nice. Charmingly rustic. The Boston Beaumont would pay a pretty penny for this setup. I thought foreigners lived differently. This is almost like an American home.
People are people wherever you go.
Thanks, Proust.
Нормально такая жопа.
Look! Family pictures. They must be the... what did you call them? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Our hosts,
No, silly, they're names.
Johann and Anna Fretland.
This is honestly not what I'd pictured. They're very presentable. Not at all like turnip farmers.
They're not turnip farmers.
Wait, is that... Are they... who's... They're all twins. All of them.
That's Johann and Anna Fretland.
There are two of each, Edward. Two of each.
Frederick and Margaret. Twins marrying twins.
My mind's reeling. This is just too adorable.
Так,
26th, 1899.
отвлечемся от страшных фотографий.
We'll be celebrating their silver anniversary next year.
What are you looking at there?
A book.
Strange place for a book. Unless it was a terrible book that deserved a good burning. What's the title?
The cover's charred. Christmas 1922. To Ruth. From Simon. Why would someone burn this?
Like I said, maybe it was a terrible book. Is Simon one of the Freddylanders?
I don't think so.
Бля, здесь походу игра
They
на
only have the one daughter.
одни базары.
Where do you think they've gone?
The Fretlands.
The Fretlands, the Hansons, the Jensens, all of them.
The books are all in English.
Isn't that a bit odd?
Mrs. Fretland is Scottish, though she grew up in Olesund.
Have you been secretly communicating with Johann's winsome wife, Edward Dearest?
Certainly not. She was the one who wrote me, because...
Those boys look proud as peacocks. What does it say there? Groovy?
Gruben. The mine.
Maybe that's where everyone is. Digging for precious jewels in the Stygian abyss.
From what I learned of this place during the brief stay in Olesund, the iron mine shut down 20 years ago. Tragic accident befalls the Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
What happened?
The mine collapsed, killing 3 workers, including Arne Fretland, Frederick and Johann's younger brother.
That's awful. How old was he?
19. Operations were suspended after the accident.
Они даже не дают мои слова вставить.
So the brothers parted ways.
Реально один пиздеж
Johann
идет.
sold his share to focus on farming.
That must have put a damper on their relationship.
Foreign investors out of Frederick Fretland's mining company. Dire financial consequences for Fretland, who must have had a difficult time after his brother Johann pulled out earlier this year.
Johann was smart to exit.
Так, что у нас тут еще можно посмотреть?
Like he knew something was about to go awry. Betty might be with the Fretlands, wherever they are.
Wouldn't Anna Fretland have written you?
She might have. We left Hanover a month ago.
Oof, that's a grim sight, old bean.
Чё у них, блядь, черные зеркала?
And soaked to the bone.
Let's get you to bed.
We'll wait for the Fretlands. It's only courteous.
Ебать.
Betty.
Have you gone screwy again, Teddy? That's not Betty.
Her
That's...
scarf. I'd know it anywhere.
It doesn't look like anything to me. It
She
just
bought it in
looks like...
Bloomingdale's the Christmas before last. When she came home that year, she showed it off, dancing around the sitting room until I got dizzy watching her.
I think you're misremembering. She couldn't make it home that year. Again.
No, you're wrong. I'm sure she
Spoiler.
was there.
Whatever. It's not like you pay any attention to me when Betty's around. I might just as well be a ghost. Where are you going?
Так. Хули, дай поговорить, походить.
Look, it is her scarf. It even smells like her perfume. Shalimar.
But what if that's not...
She's here. I'm finally going to find her.
That's great, Edward, really.
Так, размытие мы тоже уберем. Мне кажется, оно здесь...
I wouldn't want you to get your hopes up. I mean, where's everyone gone to? Something's not right, I'm telling you.
Так,
Teddy? Edward, what's wrong?
Lightheaded, that's all.
You're having another spell. You know what happens when you exert yourself.
так.
Sit down. That's an order from your commander.
Yes. I just need to catch my breath. Just
Чё, какие-то действия будут вообще
I
в этой
want you
игре?
to lie down. Lie down and close
Action.
your eyes. It's been a strenuous day. What with the rowing and the dragging of the suitcase up the hill.
Well, what if the fret...
I'll keep an eye out. I promise. If they come home, I'll wake you. Now, lie down, close your eyes, breathe deeply.
I'm just
Пойдет.
going to...
Правда, не все обсмотрел. Вдруг опять что-нибудь проебу.
Elizabeth? Is that you?
Ну заебись, блядь.
Betty? Lissy? Lissy, are you here? Where are you, Lissy?
Ничего она не отзывается. Что за туманы, нахуй?
Hello? Hey, who's there? Betty? Elizabeth? Wait! Lissy, there's someone outside. It might be Betty. Are you here, Lissy? Who's out there? Hello? Betty? Lissy?
Блядь, вот, короче, можно было в доме еще походить. Че это за хуйня?
I'm not alone.
Че это за говнецо?
I can hear you.
Да, блядь, там птицы какие-то бегают. Наверное. Ну.
Who goes there? Wait!
То мне что, сейчас идти обратно в туман? Так.
Someone there? Betty?
Да, блядь, прыгай ты.
Hello?
Сука, ебаный баран, блядь.
Betty, is that you? Are you there, Betty?
Ай, сука. Кривоножка, блядь.
Shit.
Очи.
Elizabeth, are you there?
Что это?
Lissy.
Откуда ты, бля, взялась?
Did you see her? Did you see Betty?
What? Betty? No. No, Our boat, it's gone.
The boat? What? How?
Maybe you didn't secure it properly.
I pulled it up. I don't know. I thought I tied it securely, but... Where did you go?
Out? For a walk. It stopped raining and...
I think... Betty... It was Betty,
Ну, заебись, ты, конечно, нашла время погулять. Почему он ходит на правую кнопку? Что за хуйня?
It must have been her. I saw her face in the window, and she vanished into the dark towards the sea. You really didn't see anyone?
I haven't seen a single soul. Are you sure it was her? And
Yes.
Not...
I mean, I saw her face, and it looked like her.
Well, if it was her, why did she run away?
I don't know.
Так там же темно было, что он там видел?
Back to the house. And tomorrow.
Tomorrow's another day, Teddy Bear. We'll figure it out. Right now, let's get you cleaned up. Look at you. You've got mud all over yourself. And then you really need to sleep. You must be exhausted. Come on.
Тут пока ни хера не ясно. Но зато день второй пошел. Так, что... Дистанция. Не, ну это уж точно пиздец. Ну-ка проверим, что у нас там будет. Так будет уёбищно.
Teddy, come outside. It's a beautiful day.
Ебать, что с тенями стало. Так, как здесь сбросить все по умолчанию? Почему нет? Ну да, на улице заебись. Блять, за все это время побывал только в одной комнате. Идите пока нахер. Погуляем в других местах. Мяско. А тут ничего не поделать, да? Сходим на второй этаж. Лыжи. Что у нас детская? Карандаши. Так, там что-то лежит. Закрыто. Так, и тогда сходим на кухню. Если это кухня. Так, что умеем? Играем уметь тему. Игры. Так, короче, ладно. Как бесит, когда за тобой еще закрываются постоянно двери. Лишний раз надо взаимодействие.
I just about given up on you ever waking up.
Где ты базаришь?
So we're okay with that now? Noted.
Ну, что реально с графикой хуйня стала.
Sleep well?
I dreamed of... Betty. She was in the garden, and she called for me.
How about you, Lissy dearest? Oh, you know me, old fruit, wide awake at first light.
The Fretlands didn't come home, did they?
They did not.
Хуя она.
There's no sign of anyone.
Спортсменка, комсомолка.
I've been thinking about that.
What?
It was dark. Maybe I just saw a shadow.
Chasing a shadow? That's very unlike you, old boy. Usually you scurry off in the opposite direction.
I didn't get a good look. I'm not even sure there was anyone there.
Oh, there must be someone here. And I'm not talking about ghosts. Or goats. What was it you said yesterday? Maybe they're keeping an eye on us from out in the fjord.
I'll take a gander. The Fretlands will be home soon. And Betty's here. I know it. I feel it.
If you say so, teddy bear. Have you had your noodle juice yet?
I'm not rummaging through their cupboards.
You'll be a pill without your tea and toast, old bean. We need to get you sorted.
I'm not hungry. First point on the agenda. Find the natives.
A mission! Hot dog! I'll scout ahead. I'll meet you down by those houses.
То ты заебала бегать, блядь.
Cover your secrets, Grovik.
Дорогой мистер Харден, надеюсь, это письмо застанет вас в добром здравии. Мы с моим мужем Йоханом получили ваше письмо от 9 июля. Мы хотели бы пригласить вас погостить в нашем доме в октябре. Не беспокойтесь, вы не доставите нам никаких неудобств. У нас всего один ребенок, наша дочь Рут. И более чем достаточно места, чтобы разместить одного гостя. Так, блять, нас двое. Нас очень беспокоила новость о пропаже вашей сестры. К сожалению, К сожалению, новостей пока нет. Я думаю, она еще не прибыла в Гровик. Я поспрашивал людей, и если кто-то что-то узнает и расскажет мне, я напишу вам. Однако я уверена, что с ней все в порядке, и что я просто что-то задержала в городе. В дороге в городе, блядь. Что касается вашего приезда, боюсь, что паром из Олесунна в Гровик больше не ходит. Так что вам придется добираться через фьорд самостоятельно. Когда приедете, вы найдете нашу ферму на вершине холма без проблем. От причала мимо магазина идет вверх дорога. Наш дом вы не пропустите. Он самый большой во всей деревне. Прошу вас, напишите нам снова, когда вы окончательно определитесь с планами или получите известие от сестры. Мы с мужем с нетерпением жду вашего визита в октябре. Искренне ваша Анда Фретланд. Все мы уже почитали. Так, куда эта пизда убежала? Как там?
Where are you?
By the village houses, Teddy!
Так, это, блядь, невозмутимо.
Up here, Teddy.
Где опять наверху?
Hey, eyes up here. It's such a beautiful day.
Чё охуевать?
Bottle and sell this air in Boston. It's frankly medicinal. Teddy,
Careful you don't fall.
you suck the fun out of everything, old boy.
We're far from any doctor. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
That's not very likely, is it?
I thought you were scouting ahead.
What do you think I'm doing? Vantage point, like on a pirate ship. I can probably see our house in Hanover from here.
Did you check those buildings?
Knocking on doors isn't a scout's job, old bean.
There must be someone around.
Only one way to find out, old sport. Did you check all the houses?
Ну, пойдем посмотрим. Hello.
Hello? Anyone here?
Why, hello, Mr. American. Please come in for a cup of tea and biscuits.
You're not helping. Also...
No one home?
Hello?
Так, блять.
Who's there?
Ты чё, ёбнулась? У нас тут двери, блять, закрываются.
Hello? Anyone home?
А ты чё, не идёшь со мной? Что такой дом маленький? И ничего нет. Так, блять, тихо нахуй. Две кроватки.
September 21st, 1923. Vi desperata. Lissy, found something here. Escalated from words to stones. Blood has been spilled. The curse haunts us all. There is no hope left in... Good Sforlata. Good. God. Right. In this God-forsaken place. The death of the... Jiminy. Death of the children was the end of Grovik. Whatever remained of our souls departed with them. You should see this, Lissy. The letter just trails off. It was never sent.
Так, ладно. Да ты заебала тут, блядь, хуйню всякой
It was
занимаешься.
just the wind, teddy bear. You're as skittish as a pussycat. There's one more house. Third time's the charm.
Пусикэт.
Anyone home?
Unless they're playing hide and go
Да, короче,
seek,
никого
right?
нету.
3 strikes, you're out.
I don't think anyone's been home for a while. Someone painted the word traitor on one of the doors. And there was a letter. It sounded foreboding.
Still think everyone's out fishing?
То, бля, хватит здесь уже.
I saw some sheds down by the water. There's the general store, the church.
In other words, time for some sightseeing?
Да,
Well,
все, погнали.
It's a bright and beautiful day, and we have nothing better to do.
What on earth are you doing?
Handstands, Teddy! My record is 2 minutes. I'm working on 3. Just go on ahead. I'll catch up.
Блять, даже 10 секунд не стоит. Пиздоболка. Так, там у нас куда идет дорога? Ты идешь, нет там? Ёбнутая.
July 24th, memorial service. A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that. July 24th, memorial service. A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that.
All these graves. What happened?
It's a cemetery.
But look at the soil. These are recent burials.
You're right.
Do you think this is where...
Why would they board up a church?
to keep the ghosts from... What does that say?
God is not here.
Ну нет, так нет, все.
So much for that. No wedding, no baptism, no funeral.
There must be people somewhere. Where are you going?
We're constitutional. To breathe some of this salty sea air. You go on ahead. I'll find you.
Так. Там дом. Там еще дома. Что-то ходит постоянно одна, блядь, меня бросает. Так, минуту. Ой-ой-ой. Что-то видел, кто вообще пиздец нагревается с этой игрухи. Так что придется играть в уебищном качестве. Да, пиздец, конечно. Стало отвратно. Так, поднимемся наверх. Типа можем в нуаре поиграть. А, ну охуенно. Самое то время, что рисовать. А, он эти рисует. Я понял. А, так, обратно пришли домой, посмотрим, что тут. Понятно. Какие-то загоны. Так, а что мне еще поделать? Тут тоже нихуя ничего нет. Куда еще сходить? Может, ему надо было больше времени, чтобы он нарисовал что-то там? А, вот здесь мы еще не были. Водопады. Так, а чего так деревья-то у нас ебутся? А, ну вот от этого, походу, и ебались.
What if everyone turned into a pebble?
Ты, блядь, как нахуй так делаешь?
But they see and feel everything that happens to you.
There's something very wrong.
What's this?
Remnants of the mining operation.
What, mine?
Remember, I told you yesterday. There was a mine here, but it closed down 20 years ago.
I know, Edward. I was just checking for a sense of humor. Still nowhere to be found.
To Min Om. It's a memorial. 3 men died when the mine collapsed in 1902. Georg Hatlestad, Niels Framberg, Arne Fretland.
See, this is what working a regular job. Did you say Fretland?
The younger brother who was mentioned in the article. He was just 19.
How long had he been working in the mine? That's too young for a dirty job like digging into rock.
We're in the real world, Lissy. Most teeners don't have the luxury to idle away their days with games and witty repartee.
Ouch.
The newspaper said the accident forced the mine to shut down.
What does any of this have to do with us?
I still don't know why Elizabeth came here.
And you think it has something to do with this mine?
Or with what it did to the village. Maybe.
Чё, где ты?
Where do these tracks lead?
To the mine. Where else would they go?
I don't know. A castle up in the mountains where the frost giants live? And this is how they receive their monthly offering of meat from the villagers.
О, лодка.
Goat, I hope.
Ладно, старушка, пошли дальше.
No trespassing for traitors.
Cool. Want to jump the gate and explore what's on the other side? What do you say, old sport?
Ну, пойдем,
Sign says
посмотрим.
No trespassing for a reason.
Come on! There may be trolls, or at least more houses. Where's your sense of adventure, old sport? Don't you want to see where these tracks go?
They lead to the old mine, and no. I've had enough adventure on this side of the fence. Besides, they wrote no trespassing for a reason.
You're such a terrible bore, Teddy Bear. I'll wager 1,000 clams you'll jump this gate at some point, if you believe Betty's on the other side.
Frederick Fretland. Who are these traitors he refers to?
Давай, перепрыгиваем, хуй делать-то. И чё?
Betty would have taken plenty of constitutionals here. She loves the outdoors.
How so? She's a city girl.
I'm sure she gets tired of Manhattan. And when she was little, she loved playing in the garden back in Hanover, especially around the...
Чего? Чё мы делаем-то в итоге? Хоть туда смотришь. Прыгать он не прыгает. Ну все, пошли отсюда. В пизду. Нам здесь не рады, короче. Ты идешь?
Alice!
Down in the village.
Lissy!
I'm down in the village.
Ну и, блядь. Что там ставить будешь?
You'd have thought someone would have seen us by now.
Even from out at sea. Maybe there was a spell or curse that made them all invisible.
Honestly, Lissy.
Or maybe we are the invisible ones. But then we would see them, wouldn't we?
Ладно, поднимемся до дома. Тут никого нет, блять. В итоге сейчас надо будет идти обратно. Почему тогда не было активно? Колодец. Давай ты пока порисуй. А я покурю. Так, ладно, порисовали, хватит. Что ты там нарисовал? Пойдет. Бля, что-то холодно на улице-то. Так. В доме тоже нехер делать, походу. Значит, надо перелазить. Пойдем обратно. У нас что там, как он бегает?
Alice?
I'm down in the village, Teddy.
Вы чё, блядь, забагались нахуй? Почему ничего не делается?
The weather is favorable today.
I did a little dance last night, appeasing the weather gods. Thor, in particular, was mightily impressed.
Was he?
Promised to back off with the thunder and lightning for a spell. And don't you know, he proposed to me.
Of course.
But I told him I'm not into gods. I prefer jazz musicians.
Ну и чего? Как все перелезть? Чё там вот смотришь? Тут нихуя нет. Так, здесь тоже он что-то будет рисовать. Ну давай порисуем. Все, порисовали, хватит. Так,
What did they use this for?
Bringing the ore down from the mine before it was loaded onto boats.
So, diamonds? Gold? Or just boring old silver?
Iron ore.
Or what?
Rock, which contains
I
iron
know.
deposits
I.
that...
Okay, Edward. I don't understand why they just leave this here. Like an altar to adversity. It's creepy.
Rustic superstition. Perhaps they believed they'd attract bad luck if they moved it.
Where do these tracks lead?
To the mine. Where else would they go?
I don't know. A castle up in the mountains? Where the frost giants.
она все равно не активна, блять. Это все здесь гуляет. Отъебись. Так, тут мы почитали. Мешок. О,
A boat! Teddy! Hot dog! This is our ticket out of here!
лодочка.
No, Betty. Besides, there's a hole in this boat. It'll sink before it gets 10 yards from shore. It's curious. The state of the boats. It's like they stopped taking care of them.
Seems short-sighted. How would they fish? Or get anywhere at all?
Еще что-то здесь активно.
There's no damage to the rope.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody cut it. I guess the knot could have unraveled on its own.
Didn't you say you used a sailor's knot?
I'm a scholar, not a fisherman.
So who took our boat? A ghost?
I believe the tide took our boat.
If you say so. But then who were you chasing after last night? A shadow?
I don't know. It was probably all in my head. It's quite peaceful.
If no one was around, I'd strip naked. The earth would delight in my bare feet. The wind would savor playing with my hair.
Is that so?
I don't know, I just like being naked. But not when you're around, teddy bear.
Что-то этот день долго продолжается, мадам. Хватит тут сидеть.
How about we don't go back to Hanover and stay here instead?
And how would I survive?
Hunt?
The telegraph is out of order.
Well, there goes my plan. NOSOS.
This was 2 years ago, but the notice is still up.
How can it take 2 years to get something like that fixed?
If they couldn't afford it? Or couldn't get anyone to come fix it?
Well, this place really is off the map. Here be dragons. Or Draugans, I guess.
The ferry route is no longer operating.
Rats!
Mrs. Fretland already informed me in her letter.
I know. Still warrants a resounding rats.
I wonder why it stopped running.
Look around. How many people live here? 20? 30? That can't be enough for a ferry route.
Things got quieter after the mine closed down.
They need to move on and find something else to put their village on the map. A tobacco farm, maybe.
Что там пялишься? Дай тоже почитаю.
They had a memorial service for the accident in the mine. On July 24th, in the village church.
For something that happened 20 years ago?
It still affected their lives.
Так.
The ferry would have made the trip here much easier.
And you wouldn't have had to pay that farmer a fortune to rent his boat.
I had no choice.
We should keep his boat. If it comes back. Bring it with us to Hanover.
Do what with it exactly?
I don't know. Grow parsley in it? Use it in the pond? Forget it. Stupid idea.
They must have been so isolated, with no easy way in or out.
Aren't there boats?
If they're like the boats along the beach, they wouldn't get far. You saw how much work it was to cross the fjord. And if the weather is bad...
It can't be healthy. Being so isolated. Cooped up inside. Reading the collected works.
Yeah, all right. I get
This
it.
village is basically you.
I said all right.
Правильно. Нехуй гнобить. Телеграф.
Applesauce.
Why lock any doors? I can't imagine they have a problem with crooks and hoodlums.
The sign says they're closed, but I thought maybe... Is that? Lissy, come here. It's Betty's hat. She was here. She could still be in there. Betty? Betty!
Are you sure, Edward? I mean, it's just a hat. Is it even a hat?
I
I'm not
know my
sure,
sister's hat, Lissy. I have to get inside.
What about the breaking and entering part?
I could care less what they call it.
Так, обойдем.
Here's an open window.
You seem eager to break the law. I approve.
Давай уже заходи.
It won't budge.
Don't be a milquetoast.
Well, it's stuck.
Attaboy, Teddy. You can do this.
I can't believe I'm actually breaking... Whoops, Daisy.
Oh my, Teddy. You're such a sap.
Давай, героиня, блядь. А чё, я вставать-то буду вниз? Что куда-то пропала.
World traveler, cat burglar.
A cat burglar would, by definition, enter a building on a higher
Jeez,
floor.
The state of this place.
Oh, Betty.
Edward,
I hope you weren't here when...
is this blood?
Not necessarily human blood.
Well, that's all right then. What does it say?
Damnation. The hat's in here.
Calm down, old boy. Anyway, how's a hat going to help us?
Who knows what else is in here? There could be more clues.
All right. Okay. Everything's Jake. We made it into the store. I'm sure we'll find a way through that door. What does it say? Barn murder? Someone murdered a barn?
Так оно.
Barn means child. And mortar, that's...
Child murderer. Edward, they murdered a child?
Someone thought so.
Probably the same someone who vandalized the store.
I'm not sure how I feel about being in here.
Don't be ridiculous. We're all alone. What else do you suggest we do?
Так, дверь, давай открывайся. Пойдет.
Out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps there wasn't much demand for it anymore.
S-O-S. Oh boy. If only this thing worked.
Наверное, ключ.
What are you doing?
Looking for keys.
Your life of crime continues.
The keys are all gone.
Some thieving thieves beat you to it. Rascals.
There's a note.
Is it written in Viking runes? What does it say?
It's from Simon. Yai put it means I put. Knuckle is key.
Касса.
I don't know what that word means.
He put the key in the casa?
Casa. I wish I had my dictionary. The note's addressed to his father.
So the key was moved. But where to?
Somewhere safer. Or more convenient.
Can we really trust your translations? You only started
Конечно же, в
studying
кассу,
a month ago.
I
блядь.
spent the summer. Casa.
So that's what it means. Cash register. You're a genuine gangster now, old fruit. Don't worry. If you get busted, I'll come visit you in the big house. Wasn't there supposed to be a key?
Here it is.
Так, деньги, наверное, нас не интересуют. Поэтому мы идем взламывать двери. Шляпка. Шляпка. И тут записка.
It is her hat.
Teddy, I'm not
Betty
sure
was
that's...
here. And not long ago.
Okay, but if that is her hat, what's it doing in a locked storeroom?
Another breadcrumb.
That's not an answer.
I know for sure she was here. That's what matters.
You know best, Edward. So, what now? If this is a breadcrumb, where's the next one?
There must be a reason her hat's in this room.
Шляпки.
What's that?
A handwritten note.
I'm not blind. What does it say, you silly goose?
It's hard to read. I'm not sure my translation will be... Johann, you... Nectar. Refuse. You refuse to speak to me, so I write this letter
Нектар.
instead.
Ты нектар.
It's from Frederick Fretland to his brother. Simon did not... Bloody hell. Simon did not murder your Ruth. He was fond of his cousin.
Ruth. Ruth is the daughter of Anna and Johann, which means the little girl in the photograph at the farmhouse. Oh, Edward. The Fretland girl was murdered. This is simply awful.
Согласен.
Simon was working at the farm while I tended to the store. I would have seen him had he passed on the way up to the cliffs.
They thought Simon killed Ruth. His own cousin.
Ruth was... what's that word? Playing. Ruth was always playing on the rocks below the church. She must have fallen by accident. The note ends there. Frederick never finished it. And Johann never read it. Not that it would have made a difference. If Johann
The
thought...
mob showed up for Simon. His father would have tried to protect him.
September 17th. You would have been here, Betty.
Rock's
Betty.
by the church. Isn't the church right above us? Edward, come look at this. That's the cliff. Right there. The one in the note? I bet you 1,000,000 clams.
Чё там?
See for yourself.
I guess that could be where...
Let's check it out.
No, Lissy, wait.
И сбежала уже, блядь. Как ты заебала бегать-то? На будущее откроем нам дверьки. Куда ты убежала?
I found it, Teddy. The cliff. I'm standing right below it.
What are you doing? This doesn't concern
A
us.
little girl died. We're staying in her home, for God's sake.
Are you completely without heart? Get yourself up here, Edward Harden, right this minute.
Блядь, как ты туда
Come on,
попала?
it's an easy climb.
А,
This
ладно.
looks very dangerous.
Oh, you're a big boy. Start acting like it. It's not Mount Everest.
I don't know about this. Whoops-a-daisy.
Ох, ох, ох. Что за
What is this?
My
грибочек?
little Ruth died.
You're being morbid. And this is a distraction. I'm here for Betty, not because some girl
Edward.
got herself...
You insensitive brute. You're like the Tin Woodman, no heart. You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With only books and bugs to keep you company for years and years and years. There are other people in this world, you know. It's not all about you. You're going to do this. If not for Ruth, then for us. We're going to figure out what happened. Please look at me when I'm talking to you.
Чё, хуяла, что ли, блядь?
Please look at me.
Давай, базарь уже.
You're going to do this. If not for Ruth, then for us. We're going to figure out what happened to the poor girl. Together.
Все, сказала.
Something struck this bush. She must have landed on it when... on her way down. It's a long fall. Far enough to crush the girl's skull.
Edward Charles Harden.
What?
Oh, you're hopeless. Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. That's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flour.
Where are you going?
Нахуй так
Teddy, where are you going?
резко переводиться. Чё, все нет?
Where are you going?
Да подожди, блядь. Да сука. Ты ж все равно ничего не базаришь. Тут я уже посмотрел. Ну, базарь.
That's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flowers.
Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. Something struck this bush. She must have landed on it when it's a long fall. Far enough to crush the girl's skull.
Edward Charles Hardin!
What?
Oh, you're hopeless.
Ну все, пошли обратно.
Where are you going?
Да, блядь, так а что тебе надо еще? Я тут уже все прочитал.
Where are you going?
Да иди в пизду, блядь. Наверх хочу.
Teddy, where are you going?
Да иди, блядь, сука, немощное создание. Что надо сделать-то?
That's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flowers.
Что еще тут надо посмотреть?
I've seen all there is to see. I'm going back.
You can't leave. We might have missed something important.
Что, блядь? Мы могли тут пропустить, если я все уже посмотрел.
Something struck this bush.
Is that blood?
That's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flowers.
Вот что еще, блядь, здесь надо посмотреть?
I've seen all there is to see. I'm going back.
You can't leave.
That's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flowers.
Прям как настоящие. Цветы, ну, камень,
Something struck this
кусты.
bush. She must have landed on it when on her way down.
That's ghastly, Edward.
Ну а хули, вот чё,
Is that
блядь?
blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood.
That's awful. I think there's something behind it. Can you move the rock aside?
Что за лейка? Нет, не лейка.
It must be Ruth's.
Where's the head?
Or maybe the killer also decapitates dolls.
Hold on. This pin. This is old. Very old. It looks like something from the Viking era.
We are in the land of Vikings.
This could be 1,000 years old. It does not belong in a child's doll.
Who cares? Ruth is dead and you're obsessing about a rusty old pin? Let's go further up. Maybe we'll find more clues.
Ну заебись, я так-то туда и
Come
шел.
on, old sport. It's not far.
Can you wait just 1 minute so that I can catch my breath? Huh. Did you follow the same path, Betty? Or am I just stumbling through darkness?
You can see clear beyond the edge of the world.
One
Oh,
second.
Teddy Bear. We need to take you out walking more often.
So, the girl fell from up here.
Was pushed, you mean. Can you see where she fell? Seeing as you're so concerned about me falling out of trees, I wouldn't want to risk falling off a cliff.
Certainly high enough to kill a child.
If I had to go, this would be the way to do it. Soaring through the air like a bird.
And landing like a rock. If she fell headfirst on that rock, she'd have died instantly.
Edward! Honestly.
You wanted to learn more. This is you learning more. She hit her head and fell into the bush where I found her doll. Happy now, Alice?
I'm not. What was she doing up here in the first place?
Playing? She was a child. Children play in dangerous places.
There must be more to it. Let's find out where this path leads.
No, absolutely not. I don't have time for this nonsense. We're running out of daylight, and Betty's...
Пиздец он бегает, конечно, блять.
You're still out there. Alice!
Right here.
Lissy! Slow down. I can't keep up with you. Who knows what's up there? It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissy?
Teddy.
My word. Look away, Lissy.
Is
Где,
this
блядь,
what
ты?
happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
It's one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
What about those fresh graves at the church? There were at least half a dozen of them. Did everyone just die?
They're not necessarily connected.
Oh, come on. Ugh, this is just ghastly. Was he executed?
He could have kicked the chair away himself.
What does that say?
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother drowned
Don't.
herself? Sorry. Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the hanged man before she died, and it scared her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact.
Who was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick. And he's too old to be Simon. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back. Let the poor soul rest in peace.
Does it look like he's resting in peace? You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. It's tragic, but really none of my concern.
Betty,
Согласен,
Betty,
блядь.
always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else. What if that was me up there? Would you care then? All you do is obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect. Would you please just do this one decent deed? If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty. What are you doing? You can't just pull him down by his legs. Try loosening the noose.
I can't reach that far.
Поставим стул. Все ж логично.
I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy. Edward. I know you can. You've been through much worse. Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight,
They're not coming back.
perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened? Penny for your thoughts?
She was probably murdered.
And you think Simon did it?
Your guess is as good as mine. It could have been an accident.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
Alright. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck. I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking.
Так, это у нас получается кухня. Бля, чё здесь так темно?
What did you find?
Someone tried to burn this.
Just like the book. Isn't that odd?
It's addressed to Mrs. Fretland. My dearest Anna. It's from her sister, Margaret. Frederick's wife. The two brothers married sisters, remember?
Yes, and it's adorable. Keep reading.
I really shouldn't.
Really? How else are we going to figure out what happened? Keep reading.
My dearest Anna, I miss you so very, very much. The baby is due soon, and I wish for our family to reunite before... It's been 7 years since the dreadful incident at the mine. Can we not convince Frederick and Johann to forgive and forget? I know there are things Frederick has not told me about what they found and why they parted ways. Their grudge is tearing us all apart. Frederick won't even let me speak to half of our neighbors, accusing them of treason. He's so very angry and full of regrets. It's eating him up. And we...
And we what?
The rest is unreadable.
Margaret reached out to her sister, but I guess it didn't work.
This was written before Simon was born, but burned recently.
Понятно. Что ничего не понятно. Все, да, погнали спать. Интересно, он шляпку с собой принес?
I almost forgot putting this aside when I lit the fire. Wasn't there an inscription inside?
Simon. Simon gave that book to Ruth. But who burned it?
Johann or Anna, if they believed Simon killed her.
But they were friendly, right? Simon and Ruth. Before...
I imagine so. And we know the sisters were close.
I still don't understand why the brothers had a falling out.
Whatever drove a wedge between them, it was big.
Я хотел ее убрать подальше, блядь, сам оставил ее здесь.
So the brother who owns the store
Frederick.
was angry with Johann before Ruth.
Because of the mine. It all comes back to the mine. Johann and Frederick Fretland. Thick as thieves before things took a turn.
Don't you always say that much of our pain is self-chosen?
I wonder about that.
The mine must have been a big deal for Greywoke.
Grovik. An opportunity to do more than live hand to mouth.
What a blow it must have been to lose it all.
These headlines make more sense now. Johann sells his share, and the cave-in occurs shortly thereafter, killing 3 people.
Including the younger brother.
The investor pulls out, leaving Frederick with the bills.
Oh, I feel awful for everyone. Losing a brother, losing the business.
There were no happy endings here.
Все, погнали спать, блядь. Вот шляпку не забудем. Чем сейчас так сестру будут
What are you doing?
собирать?
Putting these back.
I don't think it's
Not
healthy
now,
to.
please. I'm exhausted.
Правильно, надо завершать уже этот день. Что-то он слишком долго.
Quite the day, huh?
I'm ready to pass out. Where will you sleep?
I'll be up for a while. My mind's simply racing.
Don't stay up late. Wake me if you hear the Fretlands arriving.
Of course. And I'll keep my eyes open for any ghosts that might want to haunt you in your sleep.
There are no.
Hush now. Sleep.
Мур-мур-мур. День третий. Или ночь, блять, опять ночь. И как всегда, это пиздятин нету дома по-любому.
Lissy?
I'm upstairs.
Ну, хоть так. А, нет, так-то светло. Уже радует.
Is that you?
Where are you?
Right up the stairs, Teddy.
Так, посмотрим, что у нас тут. Вроде ничего не изменилось. Рут. А, это комната ее, значит. У этой
This is her
мелкой.
room.
Hmm?
Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic. I'll help you look.
Ну и ебало, блядь. Ну так-то лучше.
There's still no sign of the Fretlands.
Maybe they left town after Ruth died.
What's the point of this? I should be looking for Betty.
I hate you sometimes.
Ладно, погнали, чё.
She made her bed that morning. Before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you like this today? Betty's not the only person in the world that matters.
She matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth? Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8. Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
For Banelson. The curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew. It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see, pull it out.
Так.
What is this?
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. They belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
This is where it came from. Her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
A dig, a grave site. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things.
Надеюсь, мы здесь не будем 7 дней находиться.
This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
A cave. Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
Her Viking treasure. Of course.
Все возможно.
That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear.
Teddy Bear.
There's a story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
Well, she didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic events.
This is what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
Чё, блядь?
Church bell. Someone's here. Maybe Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble. I need to get to the church right now.
Wait, isn't it more
Likely to be the person you saw the other night?
I told you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to about all of this.
Так, а как туда надо было идти-то, блядь? Ты идешь? Нет.
Lissy!
Дайте в пизду тогда. Сама прибежишь.
Where are you?
I'm up at the farm.
Кто-то, значит, тут еще есть.
all these fresh graves? Do you think that maybe
No.
Betty...
I'd know. No one's touched these since yesterday.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through.
nature, not God.
Can you peek through the boards?
Нихуя не видно. Че, вот сама-то вот не можешь посмотреть? А,
See anyone?
No,
Listen! The bell! They're still in there!
Hello? I heard the bell.
This is giving me the
I'm here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Ну, давай сломаем, хули чё.
Look at that. The Ethel becomes an Edward. Didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet.
Правильно.
Betty? Are you here? Hello? This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister,
Stop
Elizabeth.
shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only ghosts here.
There are no ghosts.
What's this rope for?
The bell.
This is the bell we heard ringing?
I don't see any other bells.
So you have to stand here and pull this rope to ring it.
Yes.
But there was no one here. You didn't see anyone, right?
No. No one.
Goat. What's this? Teddy, look. Edward.
Lizzie. Look. Betty's gloves. They are definitely Betty's.
Oh, for
She got
shit's
these
sake.
in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day she... She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make
Breadcrumbs.
sense.
She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves. Her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a lab.
Betty will have left more crumbs.
Betty, you're turning into such a pill.
Чё доебалась до меня, блядь?
So what happened to the hunchback of... What's that?
The last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language. He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
It sounds like Grovik was split in two, between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
The sermon is from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and disagreements. Tilly varandra.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly, but I wonder if they were even here.
Remember the wedding picture? They were close friends once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
You call each other traitors, but the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us. Here's something else. Many of you believe Grovik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse. What do you think that means?
It means they believed they were cursed, and that they needed something or someone to blame for their misfortune.
Да, игра только на чтение и на диалоги,
What are
блядь.
you doing? We're in a church.
What happened here?
The sign on the door. God is not here.
Так, блядь, подвинься, сука.
Their faith was challenged, and it didn't survive.
I've never seen you read the Bible before.
I've read the Bible many times. It's an important, for he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Olden English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes. Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic.
Куда ты опять съебалась? Что за человек такой?
They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it.
То
This
появляется,
was an act of desperation and anger.
то, блядь, пропадает куда-то.
The church book, a record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead,
Her name would be in the book.
vandals. Tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look. How many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me.
Вот давай ищи хули.
I wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are.
Так, иди нахер пока.
Final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you. Found another one. You get it. It's right here.
Че ты, блядь? А.
Just one more page missing.
Еще листочек. Ну раз ты здесь ходишь, давай ищи хули. Темно, блядь.
Where are you going?
Подышать хочу. Листочек. Еще один. Как всегда, блядь, его хуй найдешь.
Two for two. A tie. Good job, Teddy.
Stop,
old bean.
Lissy. This is not a game. Betty's out there.
Of horse feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Bitty, bitty, bitty. Will you ever shut up about your precious Betty? Put those pages back in the book, and I'll stop trying.
This book goes back years. It lists births and deaths. Here's the 3rd Fretland brother. The one who died in the cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
What does that mean again?
Curse. That word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Ruth's drawing and the sermon both mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
Look here. Ruth Elsa Fretland. She was
Что-то
buried in
список-то
Sim-
большой.
And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh, that's dreadful.
He drowned the day after Ruth died. Probably no coincidence. See what's scribbled next to it?
Mord?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say. After the children, A half dozen deaths in a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Edward, if it killed everyone, how's that not a curse? What does that word say? Next to those names at the bottom. Fredder.
Федор. Федор предатель.
Edward? What's wrong?
Final entry. There's no name. Alice, what if...
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty,
It doesn't mean she's...
she's not dead. She can't be. I'd know.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me!
А вот когда вот ты...
Edward!
You better not be here, Betty. I'll never forgive you. This one. It's...
Когда вот ты куда-то съебываешься
What are you
быстро.
doing? Have you gone completely mad? Edward,
Здравствуйте,
stop it!
здравствуйте. Лановая дама.
Thank God. It's not her. It's not Betty. It's not her.
Ну, у меня уже пол третьего.
Edward, what have you done?
Сегодня
Not
выходной.
Elizabeth.
Так-то я еще раньше встал.
I was so afraid.
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she
Да-да.
ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister
Or
like
what? Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us? You've spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's left of it?
Quiet! Just... leave me be.
Fine.
Ха.
Lizzie? Alice? Come back. Don't leave me alone. Please. Come back. I need you.
Че это за хуйня? Да, пойдет. Не знаю, как ты собирался после того, как игру пройду. Если она будет быстрая. Надо этого седа потолкать, да и кейсы забирать. Да давно уже не играю, как-то вообще интереса нету к этой игре уже. Чё, куда она убежала?
Lizzie? Where are... I was afraid you'd left me. Now listen to me. No!
А чё за хуйня? Почему она...
Lizzie!
Может, мы уже давно все умерли?
Lizzie. Hey. Listen. Please listen to me. I didn't mean what I said.
Of course you meant it. Everything's always about Betty. Betty, Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious who matters more.
I thought she was dead.
I wish
Да,
she was.
Don't.
нахер этот клан нужен.
Be alone.
Меня никогда не это... В игре не привлекало все это действие с кланами.
Please. Talk to me.
What's there to talk about?
You can't keep running away from me.
You think you own me?
Да, блядь, я не
That you
успеваю ничего
control
сказать.
me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day. That I'm your puppet, your little plaything. Well, fuck you, Edward Charles Harden. I never should have come here with you on this pointless chase.
Now, be reasonable.
А ты что делаешь? Дома уже?
Lizzie. Alice. No. No, no, no. What are you doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate us.
Now listen to me. Please, listen. Hear me out. Don't do this. You can't do this to me.
Да, блядь, почему ничего не тыкается?
I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't, please, don't, no. What? No.
Охуенно. А чё ничего не выбиралось? А, ну приятно. Да не, мне как-то неинтересно все это. Смысла не вижу.
Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please, be all right. Please don't.
You make me sick, Edward. Your mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child. We are all that you have, and we love you. We are here. With us, you are never alone. Do not forget.
No. Never. Never. I never forget. I am never alone.
Да, что-то как-то неясно. Может, это был сон?
Wake up, Edward.
Блять.
Stop hiding. Without us, you are nothing. You cannot hide from us.
Вся игра, короче, один
Alice
базар.
is not here.
Bring her back.
Приходится все сидеть читать.
Please. I need her.
Alice does not love Elizabeth like you do.
She loves me.
Not like I do, Edward.
I'm so tired. Please.
What do you want?
I think of you so often. You have no idea.
You just want me to forgive you so that we can keep looking for your precious, perfect Betty.
She needs us.
She never needed you, Teddy Bear. And she certainly doesn't need us.
I can't find her on my own.
Well, it's just too bad, my darling Edward. Because we're done playing second fiddle to little sis.
Wait, don't go. I'm talking to you. Lizzie. Oh.
Что-то не поняла, как она так делает? Почему она вообще исчезает?
Please. Lizzie. Listen. You can't keep vanishing on me.
Try me.
Why are you so angry?
You do not know anger, Edward.
Did you ever meet my father?
Alice does not want to speak with you.
Then what about you? Are you going to help me?
God helps those who help themselves.
Пошла нахуй.
I don't need
Понятно.
God's help. I need Lissy.
Do you, though? Did you ever?
What? Of course, I...
Что-то непонятно, что здесь происходит. И на улице темнота. Чё, тебе понравилось? А, видимо, уходить нельзя. Тут какая-то дверь была закрыта раньше. Так, нет, не это. По-моему, это была закрыта. Так. А как она вообще попала на крышу? Типа тут есть какой-то вход. Хотя дверей нет. Так, чё, куда там все эти бабы-то съебались? Спать он не хочет. На улицу не выходит. Небо.
Alice. Don't go. Hear me out. I depend on you
You
both.
can never depend on other people, Edward.
I'm not sure you count as other people.
Everyone.
Что-то я понимаю, скорее
needs
всего, уже скоро
one
конец.
way or another.
You don't. You can't.
Is that a challenge?
Stop playing games.
Are you ordering me, teddy bear?
I'm asking you.
Didn't your father always tell you to stand up for yourself? To be a real man and not a sissy? Maybe that's why he put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Kaboom! He was so disappointed about what his only son had turned into.
You're a monster.
Takes one to know one. Old fruit.
Нет, на улицу. Так, пойду, значит, покурю. Так, ладно, я понял. Ищем дамочек дальше в доме. Какой ёбаный манекен. Пугает.
I gave you this jacket. Betty,
Откуда он тут взялся?
you were here.
Хватит бегать, блять.
I'm trying to talk to you. Lissy, I'm tired of chasing you.
Согласен.
Alice, be reasonable. Lissy, look. Her jacket. I'm sure it wasn't here yesterday, which
Jesus
means
Christ,
Betty was
Teddy.
here. Perhaps when we were out yesterday.
Betty,
She must
Betty,
have...
Betty.
You love Betty more than you love us. But don't you see? What has Betty done that we haven't? What can she do that we cannot? We've always been there for you. Why do you keep looking for her?
She's real. You're not.
So?
What? You decide what is real. We are real to you.
We'll never be the same.
She does not want you.
Who are you talking
Why
about?
do you think Betty left? She was sick and tired of us. She wanted to escape.
Like mother.
Drowning herself because she couldn't stand being around us.
Like father.
Bang! Right in the coconut.
Stop.
You drive them all away, Edward. All into death.
Please.
But not us. We're always here for
I
you.
beg you.
You are never alone.
Stop! Leave me alone, both of you!
You want to be alone?
You really want to be alone?
Fine. You're alone.
For good.
Lissy. Come back. Please.
Ну, охуенно. Одному-то, блядь, сейчас будет как-то стремновато. Че, она реально съебалась? Эта дверь так и не открывается никогда. Зачем вообще она тут нужна? Наденем пиджак. На мою любовь. А, блядь, это сестра же. Ладно, не важно. Все равно наденем. Что-то, походу, здесь так и пахнет 7 днями.
Elizabeth! Is that you? Are you upstairs? Betty, I'm coming. I knew you were here.
Что там, та дверь открылась? Ну да.
Betty? Betty! Are you in there? Open the door! I'm coming in! Stand away from the door!
Заебись, заходишь. Там кто-то лежит.
Betty? No! No, 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 no! Oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was you, Betty. But who? Anna. It's from Johann, addressed to his wife. Did you notice the handwriting, Betty? It was clearly distraught. Knock ere knock. Enough is enough. After decades of strife, I pray that God will... Tilly, forgive me. I am tired of secrets. For 20 years, I've kept my silence about our discovery, but my silence has only led to misfortune, and my cowardice has only led to death. I will make Frederick pay for what he has done to us, for what they have done to our Ruth. When it is over, I will let the ocean take me to you and Ruth. May God forgive me. Anna was already dead when he wrote this. He had no one else to confess to. What now, Betty? Johann went to confront his brother, probably at Frederick's farm. And then...
Что тогда?
You said this was a gift from another unlucky suitor. It was precious to you. You wouldn't have left it here unless... a signpost. A breadcrumb. You followed Johann to Frederick Fretland's farm, and then to the mine. You wouldn't let this go, Betty. You'd follow your story to the end. All the way to the end.
Так, и что делаем теперь?
Did you go to the mine, Betty? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Идем в шахту.
So where is Frederick's farm?
А, эта херня теперь открывается, да?
What led you to this place? All these fragments. You would piece them together into a story, wouldn't you, Betty? So, what do we know? Johann and Frederick are partners, and on good terms. But something happens in the mine. Disagreements lead to a falling out. And at the end of it all, 20 years later, Johann walks this path to confront Frederick. Was this your doing, Johann? Did you burn your brother's farm to the ground? And where were you, Betty? Did you witness their fall? Betty?
Так, а куда мы сейчас идем? На могилу. Как нет-то? Как будет не заперто? Ладно, значит, со временем откроется. Что сейчас? Ага. Идем в шахту. Типа. А. На этом пути конец.
Simon's grave. Born December 5th, 1909, died September 17th, 1923. Why bury Simon here and not at the cemetery? His wife's grave is also here. Perhaps Frederick wanted nothing to do with the church or with their God. I could really use your imagination, Betty. You'd figure this out in no time.
Почему сейчас будет открыто? Размечтался. Ладно, будем искать. Только знать бы что. Колодец. Где-то же второй такой же был. Или чего? Что нам делать-то? Куда податься? Тут он ничего не читает. Сейчас больше-то некуда идти. Пятачок, я застрял. Что делать-то? Обратно он не идет.
Betty? Are you here, Betty? Betty! Elizabeth!
Давайте покричим, короче,
Betty,
может
where are
быть,
you? Betty? Are you
кто-нибудь.
here, Betty? Betty! Elizabeth!
Да хуй там.
Betty, where are you? Betty?
Не хотят со мной общаться. Ага, ясно, блять. Ключ?
What do you reckon, Betty? Let's try Simon's birthday. Another Viking artifact, Betty. Most likely from the same treasure Ruth found. Postmarked in Boston. That's a curious coincidence. Dear Frederick, I hope this letter, it's in English, Betty. Hope this letter finds you and the boy in good health. We're concerned about you both. No word from you for almost 2 years now. All of us still heartbroken about Margaret's passing. We know things have been difficult for you and Simon.
Конечно.
Mr. Fretland, we expect you to take care of this problem. If the discovery is made public, the authorities will intervene and the mine will be shut down. Should this happen, we will consider it a breach of our contract, and we will withdraw our investment. You and your brother will be responsible for all debts and losses. Johann must be convinced to wall up the chamber. We've already dealt with the worker who made the discovery.
Замуровать камеру.
The Fretland Mining Company. This must be for that locked shed.
Ну да.
You went to the mine. I hope our guardian angel watched over you. All right, Betty. So what happens next in your story? Johann and Frederick discover something in the mine. A cave or chamber of archaeological value. They argue about what to do. If the discovery is made public, it's the end of their enterprise. Johann is convinced or paid to walk away. Their secret stays hidden. Then, a few months later, the accident. 3 men die. The investors pull out. The mine shuts down. Frederick's up to his neck in debt. So, 20 years, the Fretland feud tears the village apart, setting neighbor against neighbor. And then, Ruth stumbles across the secret in the mine. After all this time, the truth may finally come to light, but she dies. And the day after, Simon is murdered. It's a catalyst. Old grievances resurface. No matter who you stand with, you're a traitor. Things escalate. More people die. From disease, despair, suicides, murder. All because of the mine. Because of what they found there. And what they covered up. There was no one to stop it, Betty. They were alone. That's the real curse of Grovik. Isolation. This place is cursed. Ridiculous.
Согласен. А чё, типа, туда нельзя? Ну и сюда нельзя. А куда можно? Вот и голова.
Ruth was here the day she fell. You were here, Betty. You saw Ruth. Maybe you tried to help, but she ran all the way to the cliff where... Do you know what happened, Betty? Did you witness it?
Так, а Элизабет у нас кто такая в итоге-то?
Betty, are you in there? Please answer me.
Что тут долбишь?
Oh, Betty. This is Mother's brooch. You always wore this. You wouldn't take it off unless... You left it here for a reason. What am I not seeing?
Как же заебись. Руки куда-нибудь в темноту. А, побежали нахуй отсюда. Так, мы ничего не узнали опять. Впрочем, как всегда.
Edward! Edward!
Betty? Elizabeth? Is that you?
Edward? Where are you?
I'm on my way, Betty. Wait for me.
Столько имен
Edward!
разных.
Where you are. I'm coming.
Что я уже запутался.
Edward! Edward! Where are you?
Уже потерялся, чья баба есть чья.
Edward, please! Hurry!
I'm coming, Betty.
Давай, быстрее.
Edward!
I'm almost there. I'm here, Betty. It's Edward. It's me.
Edward?
Just stay put.
А там никого, да, по-любому?
I can hear you. Hold on. I'm almost there.
Edward, hurry! Oh, Edward, hurry!
I'm coming.
Ну и что нас здесь ждет?
Edward, is that you? I'm in here.
Thank God. Thank God. Elizabeth, there you are. Finally. You have no idea how long I've been looking for you. You had me so worried. I...
Стоп, блядь, что-то я уже сам запутался, кого я в итоге искал.
Your brooch. Mother's brooch. You must have lost it at the mine. Let me put it on for you, Betty. I wouldn't want you to lose it again.
Что за Элизабет? Элизабет.
She's been dead for 30 years, Edward. Elizabeth was never here. But we didn't come for her. We came for Johann, and Anna, and Frederick, and Simon, and Ruth. We're here to tell their stories.
No. Elizabeth. She's here.
You know Betty died when she was a baby. She drowned in the pond. And you found her. You were just 11. You carried her to your mother. And your mother,
She hated you for that.
she could never forgive you for bringing her baby to her. And you could never forgive yourself for what she did after. You always forget this. Because you don't want to be alone. So you bring Betty back. Again and again. To New York. To Boston. To the house. But always just out of reach. Never quite there. The scent of her. The echo of her. But never really her. All it does is make you lonelier. But the thing is, Edward, you're never alone.
You have us.
And you'll always have us. Betty's... She was never there for you. She couldn't be. You can't lose us. We're a part of you.
Forever. And ever. And ever.
But you need to let Betty go now. There's not room for all of us in there.
I couldn't save you, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry. It is as painful to wake from a vision as it is to be born anew.
Как-то странно, вроде уже постоянно думаю, что конец, а в итоге нет.
Goodbye, Betty.
То Элизабет, то Бетти. Как-то у них постоянно меняются имена.
Are you up? Come outside. It's a beautiful day.
Had your noodle juice yet?
I might be weaned off this stuff.
Boo. Don't lose your taste for tea, old fruit. It keeps you human. We have
Хуй ты здесь
unfinished
упрыгаешь-то, блядь.
the final piece of the puzzle.
Ruth.
Come on. Let's go back to where it started. We have an appointment with a ghost.
Ну, пошли.
Such an amazing view, isn't it? And the air. Ugh. Boy. Why did we come here, Teddy?
To Grovik. Well. The letter to Frederick.
The one you found in his safe. From Boston.
I may have overheard a conversation somewhere, paid it no attention, but the name stuck. And Betty... And I spun a story around it that put us on this path.
Do you really believe that? I mean, how often are you around people?
To find my sister.
But Betty's not... She was never here. It doesn't make sense.
Some places have gravity.
What are you saying? Gravewick's gravity pulled us across the Atlantic Ocean?
Grovik. No, I'm not saying that. That's irrational.
But you believe it, don't you? that we were summoned to tell their story.
I'm a man of science. I don't know what to believe.
And yet, here we are. All three of us.
Is this what you wanted to show me?
I wanted to be close to her. Do you believe in ghosts, Edward?
You know I don't.
Well, you've been chasing one for years.
That's different.
What about me? Us.
You're not ghosts, you're alive.
Fair enough. So what really happened to Ruth?
She was probably murdered.
By Simon?
It had to be Simon.
Are you sure?
Does it matter? They're both dead.
It matters to me. So she ran from the mine. And she came here. And then someone pushed her? If only she had wings. Like a bluebird. She could have soared away on autumn winds. But why was she killed?
Because she was playing where she shouldn't.
The secret the Fretlands had kept for a generation. If people learn the truth, it might tear the community apart. So she was murdered, and the village was cursed. I hope she's at peace. And with God. Do you think that's where everyone's gone?
They're dead. I don't believe there's anything more to it than that. But there's comfort in oblivion, and we won't be alone. We'll never know what happened to everyone in Grovik.
We tried our best. We'll remember them. All of them. Maybe that will give them some peace in oblivion. Could this be your book, Edward? The one you've been wanting to write? A story about people who are isolated, left behind by the world. You can give them all a proper ending, with no annoying loose threads. Edward, is that...
A boat? But how?
Who cares? Let's catch it before it sets out on another adventure.
I don't understand how this can be.
Maybe the tide brought it back.
It must have been the wind.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, teddy bear. Let's blouse while the weather's still good.
I need my suitcase.
So get a wiggle on, old boy. I'm going to say my goodbyes to all the things. I don't think we'll be back. Meet you at the house.
My goodness. Righty-ho. No rush. All day.
Такое ощущение, как будто бы опять мне попалась какая-нибудь тупая, отстойная концовка, где все херово и так далее. Вот по-любому надо будет посмотреть после завершения игры, если там какие-то другие концовки. Потому что я все как-то прохожу игры с несчастливым концом. Где вот я оставил свой сундук? Ты заебало, блядь, так появляться.
Do you never sit still?
Don't be a wet blanket. Let's make like the wind and get out of here.
Ну, пойдемте обратно. Интересно, да, дама все еще там лежит? Понятно. Туда уже нельзя. Так, ну там вот. Ну-ка тогда пройдемся по всем комнатам. Проверим, что еще можно будет сделать. Странно, что комната с трупом закрыта теперь. С чем это может быть связано? Непонятно. Сидишь? Ждешь?
Come on, let's go. Row, Teddy, row.
Ну, поехали.
The water's still cold.
It's a fjord, Lissy, and it's almost winter.
There'll be snow when we get back to Hanover.
The house will be warm.
Are we going to be all right, Edward?
I think so.
Время песен. Да, странная игра, конечно. Сюжет сложноват. Но в любом случае спасибо за просмотры и за лайкосы. Думаю, на этой неделе еще тоже что-нибудь постримлю. Так, всем спасибо, всем пока.
in time.